Good evening, everybody. I'll call this meeting for June 2nd, 2026 to order. Be it resolved that the agenda for the June 2nd, 2026 regular meeting of council be adopted. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. All in favor? It's carried. Councillor Powell will be attending by Zoom here shortly. We have CFO Gnida by Zoom and also Mr. Harvey. Be it resolved the minutes for the May 19th, 2026 regular meeting of council be approved. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Any errors or omissions? All in favor? It's carried. Receptions and delegations and hearings. Tonight we have with us our fine group from Communities in Blooms. Be it resolved that the information provided by Communities in Bloom dated May the 29th, 2026 be received, and be it further resolved that Communities in Bloom be invited to speak as a delegation. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. All in favor? It's carried. All right, if you can introduce yourselves and then we'll let you proceed with your presentation.
Phil Friesen.
Diana Taylor.
Maureen Bowles.
Okay, welcome. Okay, we'll let you, we got some correspondence from you, but we'll let you.
So do you want me to read this letter again?
Have you done a delegation before?
No.
So I was in your shoes, so I'm just interpreting here. So we've now approved the motion for you to provide your explanation about your letter. We've all had the opportunity to read it ahead of time. Some of us may or may not have. And so then we would just like you to please explain it further, give us extra clarification, and then we'll have the opportunity after to ask questions. And
So that's why I'm wondering if I have to read this again, because I'm presuming you guys have read it all.
Yeah, you can just go through it. You know, you don't have to read it. You can summarize it as
So
well.
basically, the concern is we feel there could be more visual impact on the signs coming into Swan River from all four directions. Lighting is one of the issues. The lights are so low, it's not really shining on the sign as best, as well as in the winter the snow covers it so there's less illumination. Maybe lights on top coming down shining on it. As well, I don't know if you've noticed Dauphin or if you've been to Stonewall, like their entrance signs, like you see them from a distance. Here it's like you're driving in and, oh, town of Swan River. So it would be great if there was more visual impact, and that's why perhaps a gravel area surrounding would just lighten up the area. So that's the one issue. The other is the pillars holding the, do you want to deal with that, or can I go on to?
Well, I was just going to say that on that, I probably agree with you. But one other thing that I brought up to our CEO recently was that they're starting to fade a little bit too. So some of the lettering on it needs to be highlighted as well. But council will take that away unless council wants to comment on that. But our CEO will take note about that, and then we will discuss that, you know, something that might be a project for us to enhance them at some point in time.
Because the signs are very nice. They're very classy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and the other issue is the rotary pathway signs, or sign. The pillars holding that sign, the parging is basically fallen off, so it's down to wire and plywood. And so they're just going to totally disintegrate, and it is a heavy sign. So that needs some attention.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. Our director maybe want to comment on that.
Yeah, it's already been flagged for repair.
Good, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Did you want to mention the Communities in Bloom sign?
needs to be kept on top.
Oh. There was some discussion about taking the bloom sign off the signs. We just assume that they stayed on.
Just leave it there. Okay.
We haven't been
Good
judged
feedback.
for 2 or 3 years, but it's still a feather in our cap, the fact that
sure.
we did get 5 blooms.
Yeah, and that was one of my comments, is that, you know, nothing, we don't really have anything to replace it with, so why not just leave it there too, so, yeah.
Good.
And we're under the understanding that when people are looking at moving to a new area, that, you know, if they look on your website or driving into town and they see communities in bloom involvement, they know there's people in the community that care. So it's a plus for the community.
For sure, yeah. Go ahead,
I
Councillor.
should know this, but I don't. What's involved in being part of the judging to opt into it?
Application,
That's it.
Yeah, there's an application and a fee.
$500, I believe.
It's a lot of work to prepare
I
for
can't
the actual
remember,
judging.
and then they
day.
come and judge. We can just be a member for approximately $200. They don't judge, we're just a member of their association, so they, you know, occasionally send communications. But since COVID, things changed quite a bit, and they haven't had their seminars, conventions that they used to have in the fall, where you'd go, well, we went to Selkirk, been to Dauphin. It's a full day tour. They show you all the highlights of the town. And, you know, it's a good learning experience. And when they were judging, that was about $500. And 2 judges would come, and we were required to put them up in a hotel, feed them, tour them around. We'd start about 8:30 in the morning and finish about 5 o'clock at night. We've got some really highly qualified judges. The one young woman that came has done the Assiniboine Zoo, that whole area around the polar bears, that whole thing, that's her project. So we had some really competent people giving us advice or comments.
And one of the
Very good.
places we went was to the landfill. People couldn't
Right.
believe that. Why are you going to the dump? Well, that was one of the main things that they wanted to see, was the landfill and how it was looked after. And they were impressed, because we made contact with them first, you know, said the judges are coming and we're going and blah, 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 so, yeah.
And the
Yeah,
people.
I do remember that was part of the judging, was
Yeah.
the landfill, and that how well our caretakers can take care of it
Yeah.
and keep it organized.
Exactly.
That was the best thing that year. Every year they comment on your highlight. And that year, that was it. And I'm not sure who was running it then, but they gave us a full sheet printout of exactly where everything went there. Where
It
the,
was Trumley's.
went to the rolling mill or something, all these places. It was really interesting. And I think the whole community would be interested in that. They said how many pounds went here, how many things. It was really good
Yep.
and interesting for someone who doesn't know.
And that's where the books that we made up,
Mhm.
because there's, about 5 different areas that they judge.
And the agenda, I think, is in the front of the book each year. Where
Did
we
you have a
took
question,
them.
Glenn?
No. Hugh Skinner still a judge?
Sorry?
Is Hugh Skinner still a judge?
You know, he could be, Glenn, I don't know.
Mm.
Okay. I can see that you ladies have started your planting already, or you're almost done, I think. Everything looks good. We thank you for all the efforts that you do to make our community look good too. In those
Our Mennonite
spaces.
youth group is coming to plant this week too. They
that
come
right?
every year, bring their little rototiller and their bare
Yeah.
feet, and they just,
Perfect.
they're really great.
Councillor Duane Whyte.
Ex-Councillor Friesen, as I recall, you were the lead hand, as it were, in getting those wonderful big flower pots out on the highway east of here. And I'm
The
sure
ones that aren't supposed to be there, those ones?
They're supposed to be there, absolutely, I'd agree. I'm not saying any more than that. Thank you so much for
They
your
look-
team.
they
How
look
many
good.
other members of your team make our community so much more pleasant through the eyes?
Anybody notice the tulips in the tier bed?
I say there's about 15 ladies, and all of us are over 70, so
Really?
it's getting a little tougher.
So
Councillor Bobick.
I don't know if the signage would fall into transportation, but we're gonna have a transportation meeting one of these days, so that would be a topic that we come up with too.
Okay.
So, just with that, we met today with Manitoba Highways, and this is my own pet peeve that I mentioned to ask the question, if we could plant trees on the boulevard, kind of trees, so what your thoughts are on that. We don't have any permission or anything, we just seeded that, I guess.
We need to take that to urban forest.
I will, thank you.
And, and actually, speaking of MTI having that meeting today, you're probably aware of the entrance to, on the east side of town where the shrubs and the trees have grown in the ditches pretty wildly, and we've been asking MTI to clean them, and they informed us today that they will probably start one side at least this year. They want to commit to it and get the other side done next year. If they can get both done this year, they'll do it, but they're maybe committing to doing the one side. So our lobbying efforts as far as that goes is starting, I think, will pay off.
Something else that was mentioned to me, the sign coming in from the north. Was that sign moved like in the last couple of years?
It was, you mean out on the, just whatever they call it?
Going up towards Bozeman.
Yeah.
What
It was sinking, and so our works guys a few years ago lifted that, put a new cement pad, and placed it in that spot again.
Because the comment was made that the lighting is off now. It's shining into the traffic as opposed to the sign.
So Councillor Bobick, I think I just heard, said that he was gonna commit himself to making sure that he'll bring
should
that
be
forward,
committed.
so,
I don't vote anything.
Yeah. That was my comment too.
yeah. Really good. Sometimes it's good to have people come in and bring us this in a positive way,
Well, yeah.
because we don't see it all the time, right? And so when you have another set of eyes looking at that and gives us some feedback, then maybe we can do something about it.
Well, there was one other little concern with the planters, and I don't know who mows that boulevard. Is it the town, is it highways,
Go ahead.
It's recreation.
recreation? So there was hope that, and I do believe one of our members already spoke to you about that, about that she would be willing to help do some work around the base of them. They sort of get sand built up and the grass grows because it can't be, it's not mowed close to it because of the planters, so.
Okay, well, we could take that away too then. Anything else? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have
Thank you
another
very
meeting
much.
to go to at 7 o'clock?
I do have another meeting to go to.
All right.
I
Thanks
told
for
them
coming
to.
in
Thank you.
And thank your whole group on our behalf, okay?
Thank you.
Will do.
Have a good night.
Bye, thank you.
Okay, moving on to 6.1. Be it resolved the email and report dated April the 29th, 2026 from AMM regarding the record of this discussion from the Contract Management Committee be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.2. Be it resolved that the letter from the Association for Community Living dated May 21, 2026 be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.3. Be it resolved that the email and accompanying documents dated May the 18th, 2026 from the National Dental Care Day Foundation regarding proclamation request be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.4. Be it resolved that building permits 1226 through 1526 with a total estimated value of $203,000 be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion? All in favor? carried. 7.1. Be it resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer's report be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion. Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
What has started this, the crow movement? I don't know how to act, like, what's been happening with the crows? Do we have an influx of crows? Is this an annual, thing? Because it seems to be the first I've heard of it, and this is not the first time I've heard it this year. It's a thing.
West Nile virus. It's a control of West Nile virus, which crows carry.
Right, I just, so is it like a cycle where do we have more crows than usual, or is this something we do every year?
Well, yeah, well, I can, before CO speaks that, some years, yes, we have more, and some years we have less, for whatever reason it is. And some of them, crows are very smart, intelligent birds, and they also, I think, learn over time where they're safer to live, and so they might live across the river for a little while. I've heard different stories about this, but anyway, go ahead, CO.
So just for the history, Councillor Whyte, so Mr. Healy's been doing this since about 2007. Ongoing payment of $8.50 per crow from the ratepayers through the budget. He has a .22 or a .410 shotgun. Before he goes out and does anything, he contacts the RCMP, so he's in full engagement with them. It's all safe. And then the town provides garbage bags and gloves, and they're disposed of safely at the landfill. But as the mayor said, it's primarily because crows carry mosquitoes that have West Nile virus, so it's too dangerous not to control the crow population. That's the theory behind it.
Okay, thanks.
Any further discussion on the CAO's report? All in favor? It's carried. 7.2. Be it resolved the Director of Public Works report be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Councillor Bobick.
Just in speaking with Director Harvey this afternoon, just to let everybody know that if anybody's complaining, the dust control is tentatively to be done in the second week in June, middle of June. So there is some roads getting dusty with the rain coming. Hold on. If any of you get any residents saying that's tentatively when it's coming.
Any other discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I just wanted to add to that. It feels like with the heat that we're further ahead than we are. Like the streets are just finishing being cleared, and like to be talking about dust, it seems early is what I'm saying, but it would feel to all of us like, well, this should be done because it's the middle of summer. And that was just going to be another comment, was it seemed like just on the streets that I've been down, I was just going to comment to Director Harvey that everything just seems to be right on par. Like streets are clean, and then I noticed more potholes popping up. Oh, those are filled. And then there's this little rocky patch near my place that gets all bumpy, and boom, it's evened out. There's a track, they sent a piece of equipment and flattened it all out. So just really appreciate the organization, I guess.
Councillor Whyte.
Yeah, relative to the devices that are at the lagoon, I'm not sure what the order is. Were they in last winter or not in last winter? Or they been just put back in the spring? I'm not sure how we quantify the bouquet that comes from there. It's not unpleasant, really, it's a fib. But I sense it's not near as bad as it's been in the past. I don't want to run on census. I'd like to know that thing was in all winter, or went in the spring. When did it go in? Is it a new one, or is it an old one? Is it broken? What's the status of that device?
I believe it comes out in the fall and goes in the spring, but Mr. Harvey can confirm that.
Yeah, it's a buoyant device that floats in the water. So we have to take it out before the ice comes. And then we wait for the ice to go out before we put it back in. And it affects the air water membrane, so when there's ice, it wouldn't make a difference anyways. So it gets taken out in the fall and then it gets put back in the spring, and it's installed and working away.
Do you have any device that measures bouquet, or is that just by a sniff test?
It's essentially just by smells. Other years before we had the device, it was definitely way worse of a smell when we were out there. And it's, to me, it's lessened since we've been installing it.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor McKenzie.
Councillor Harvey, have you had any communication with, I'm not sure the department called it anymore, used to be Highways and Transportation, about appears to be some ongoing survey work at the intersection of McDonald's?
We just asked for an update on the intersection because they were going to go back with their engineering services for reassessment after it was decided that the roundabout wasn't the option to go with. So we had a meeting with them today and we just asked for an update on that, and the liaison officer will get back to us.
I don't think that was the question, even though that's
sorry.
important, but I think the question more was, what are they surveying? There seemed to be some surveying going on there, but we never had that conversation because I don't know if it's actually highways or if it's Hydro that's doing the survey. We don't know that, unless you know something different about that.
I think Hydro had some locates, but I can check with Francis to see if it was them that was doing the surveying.
Okay. Councillor Bobick.
Yeah, those are more locate stage, not survey stage. Somebody's asking for it.
What does that mean?
Thank you.
What does that mean?
They want to know if there's wire.
The locates.
Yeah,
What does locates mean?
underground.
Underground.
Pardon me?
Before you do an excavation, you have to get locates where all the buried utilities are marked out so that you don't hit them. That's what locates means.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Excuse me,
It's
sorry.
carried. 7.3, be it resolved the Director of Recreation's report be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I was asked today when we're gonna start doing the bettering of the park with the project with the grant money, I don't know what to call it. Do you know when we're aimed set to start that?
There's a bunch of different components to it,
Oh.
so it'll be kind of in phases. None of it is starting quite yet.
But it's this year.
Yeah, like we have to tender out
That's
for
right.
some things. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 7.4.1. Be it resolved that the report dated June the 2nd, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding the Hayes School Zone be received. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? I guess this kind of puts that to bed where the question was, can that Dixie be added to the same as the school zones that the province allowed us to set, and because it's not abutted to the schoolyard, it cannot be to that piece of legislation anyways. Any other discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 7.4.2. Be it resolved, the report dated June the 1st, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer and Director of Recreation regarding the proposed cricket pitch be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Council reports, Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I don't have really any reports other than, I'm excited that it's been confirmed that, Service to Seniors is going to be attending the G8. So that will be great, and we're gonna provide, they are going to provide information ahead of time so that we can provide that, Uriah said he can provide it with the agenda. Other than that, the Communities That Care meeting that was supposed to be, tomorrow was rescheduled, and I really don't have anything else to add.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Duane Whyte.
I had the pleasure on the 21st of May representing the medical recruiting professional team with the help of Deputy Mayor Moriaux and Mr. Gade, etc. We took 2 doctors, 2.5, because one guy's about halfway, 2/3 of the way to fulfilling his medical degree. Took those 3 people and their families on a tour of schools. The next day they went to the pool, did a tour of the primary care clinic, and we did a tour of the hospital. Energized, bright young people who committed, as far as I understand, to be working here within the next 2 months. 2 new doctors, and pretty excited for them, positive people, and they'd like to tell them 2 have already purchased or in the process of purchasing homes. So that's all good stuff. Compliments to the medical professional team and PMH, because PMH obviously did a lot of stuff before. We finish it up. We put the icing on the cake and they built the cake. So our job is significantly easier than PMH. On June the 1st, I attended the LP SAC meeting, the Stakeholders Advisory Committee. And they're producing a new product right out there right now that's never been produced by LP anywhere. And it's completely embryonic, and it's got less chemical in it, there's an MDI, that's the one, the carcinogenic one, and another one that stops termites from eating the wood. Therefore, you need less resins, so it's lighter, and it's cheaper to make, and more wood, so it became heavier. So it's really neat following that process. But they're building it here, they're going to have it tested soon, and hopefully that, it bodes well for our LP SAC. What did they say? 400 plus people feed the mill. You know, the list of all the suppliers who are feeding the mill, it's awesome. And 200, 250 working at the mill. What an economic driver, a cultural driver. What cultural too, when you think about all cultures in the world are out there bringing up their wonderful backgrounds. And then today, Councillor Powell and I attended the Albert Chartrand Friendship Center for a special meeting of the AGM. Most of the user groups within the community, immigrant services, etc. So there's 20 of them. And I heard all the wonderful stories, and I'm just excited to say that our community is in pretty good hand with the leadership of our, by and large, volunteer communities, trying to make it better for all people. So I enjoy that, hearing those good news stories. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Bobick.
Thank you, Your Worship. Attended the Cal meeting last week. Also, I was meeting today with Manitoba Highways. Just a comment on that, I guess my thoughts are that they more or less said that they put the idea of a roundabout to rest. It's not going to happen.
It's not officially said
Not
that.
official.
We will know some things in August.
There's been lots of questions, and again, it goes to the locate stakes that everybody figures that they're
Yeah.
surveying and do around. Just to let everybody know, I'm trying to round up airport commission meeting. That's been a little bit of a challenge, but we'll get through it. And also at the same time, I'm trying to piggyback a transportation meeting the same day, so I'll try to let you and Danielle, Councillor Whyte know what day. Tentatively the 10th. Are you available through the afternoon, like noon? That works for you then?
I'll have to look.
Okay, done. So, that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor McKenzie.
Attended a Parks and Recreation meeting, and I'd like to compliment Director Gordon-Broome on her organization and efficiencies. Everything is pretty well planned out. The plans for the park are all in the works, and I think that other people have contributed to the organization, so those things will be moving ahead, like you say, and tenders will be let in due time for those particular things, so that's a positive thing. Also, some interesting thing happening, the cricket pitch is in the works now, and I noticed an article today in the paper that the people behind that are ready to go, so it gives a new sport and a new dimension to our community. And some also discussion about the possibilities of pickleball courts in Swan River, so excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
The 3 meetings that I've attended are already been reported on, and but just in addition to that, His Worship and I are heading out tomorrow to the National FCM Conference in Edmonton, so we'll be representing the community in the Valley on a national stage.
Thank you. For myself, Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation had a meeting last week, and our transition is going fairly good. We have now officially hired, or will be hiring a bookkeeper. We had one person apply for that position who had already been in our interim position. And we also have interviewed a person for the administrative position, and so interviews went really well. So we're almost ready to be offering a position for that. So kind of looking forward to that and getting everything back on track. Still has got to figure out what's going to happen with the Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation house that we've been typically renting to agency nurses in the past. Well, that program is not happening anymore. They have something similar in place now. So actually, I got an email today from a person that does all the booking through Prairie Mountain Health, and was interested to hearing something from the foundation as far as renting out the house. So if we can get that back on track, save the province some money, and also help our foundation, which at the end of the day helps our hospital and our other facilities. I also was in the meeting today with MTI. Francis Cooper was here, our liaison for our district, and I think we had a really good meeting. We were able to cover off on a few important items. One of the items was the service road that is right next to OK Tire. We've been pushing that for a while. I've been kind of bugging the deputy minister about that for about a year and a half now. So it sounds like they're looking at that, but it's not just a matter of just going and throwing a lift of asphalt over top of it, because what's underneath has to be make sure that it's done properly and it's not going to crumble and fall apart like it did. So they're looking at that right now, and hopefully maybe in the next bit they will repair it. And I'm guessing probably not till next year. But in the meantime, we've asked them to watch the maintenance on that and keep up with that. We did talk about, and this has been kind of an ongoing thing for the last few years, about the pedestrian corridor that's around Kentucky Fried Chicken to No Frills, Giant Tiger, and around 11th Avenue South and 12th Avenue South. So we know that the province of MTI has said, you know what, we can do a pedestrian crosswalk, but you have to have these bulb outs, and we weren't all crazy about that for the last couple terms. So we had a deeper conversation about that today, and I had suggested that maybe at 11th Avenue South they actually install traffic signals there and allow the traffic, and No Frills actually has a new entrance, and that entrance could be used to get into 11th Avenue South and Main Street. So they're going to do a traffic study on that to see if that's feasible, and then of course if what participation that we would have if there's any monetary money that the town would have to put into that. Still waiting on Junction and PTH 10, as Councillor Bobick had brought up, and we will hear more. They're saying, the deputy told me a couple days ago that we'll hear something on that probably in August. So that means no project there at all, probably till next year now, since their budgeting has already been done. We talked about the maintenance on the highways in Main Street, like as far as potholes and repairing and maintaining their infrastructure. I said, geez, they said, this is your investment. You gotta protect your investment. You gotta seal coat everything and all that. And they just don't budget for that, which is, I really find it really hard to believe. But she had mentioned us today that MTI received some significant cutbacks in this budget that the province presented this year. So that just means less money for them to do maintenance on our highways. We talked about the lines. As we know, I can never understand why our lines disappear over winter. Main Street has no lines. Now, most people can figure out where to drive, but still, the lines are a guidance of where you should be and where you shouldn't be. And I just could never understand why. So we brought that up, and so they're going to look into that. But they tell us that we should see lines by mid-June. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course, the recreation meeting that I attended with Councillor McKenzie and Councillor Powell. Councillor McKenzie already covered off on about the cricket pitch. I think that's just a great thing to add to the community. It's just another value-added item for people that play cricket and invite people to play in our spaces. And I really like the fact that the director was able to work together with the cricket group and the school division as far as using that space, because we do own the space, but they're using it under an agreement with the town of Swan River. So I think that's just great that we can use the space that otherwise would not be used for anything other than dandelions and cutting all the time. So, and of course the RFP on the arena stuff that we're still waiting on that. So we'll see where that goes in the next little bit. But that's all stuff that is coming down the pipe. And that's it for me.
So go ahead.
Okay, so 8.1. Be it resolved that the advertisement as celebrating the achievements of Swan Valley's latest graduates be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. 8.2. Be it resolved that the advertisement celebrating the achievements of Swan Valley's latest graduates approved for publications in the Swan Valley Star and Times 2026 graduation supplement. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, second by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.3. Whereas weather conditions during the town's 2026 spring cleaning events were inclement, including snowfall and unsuitable for spring cleaning activities, be it resolved the landfill tipping fees be waived for the town of Swan River residents for disposal of household garbage and yard waste on June 12 and 13, excluding commercial, industrial, and institutional loads. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I don't know if this is the right place, but I'm just curious how we're going to advertise for this.
Well, I think it would be appropriate. Director or CEO?
We have Facebook posted, website posts all ready to go as soon as I get the approval from council tonight. So that'll be as of tomorrow morning. We wanted to allow a week, so we didn't want to do it this weekend. Next weekend allows ample time to give people enough notice.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.4. Whereas oral health is an essential component of overall health and well-being, and access to preventative dental care and oral health education contributes to healthier individuals, families, and communities. And whereas National Dental Care Day is a Canadian public awareness initiative dedicated to promoting oral health, education, preventative care, and equitable access to oral health care services, particularly for underserved and vulnerable populations. And whereas this initiative recognizes the valuable contributions of dentists, dental hygienists, dental assistants, educators, volunteers, and community organizations that work to improve oral healthcare outcomes and support healthier communities. And whereas increasing awareness about preventative dental care, oral hygiene, and early intervention can help improve long-term health outcomes, reduce barriers to care, and strengthen public health and community wellness initiatives. Be it resolved, the Council of the Town of Swan River proclaim October the 10th, 2026 as National Dental Care Day in the Town of Swan River and encourages residents to recognize the importance of oral health and support initiatives that promote accessible dental care, preventative education, and community wellness. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. 8.5. Be it resolved, the property tax envelope insert providing information about municipal and education taxes be received. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. 8.6. Be it resolved, the property tax envelope insert providing information about municipal and education taxes be approved for inclusion in the 2026 tax envelope. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. 8.7. Whereas an agreement has been in place since 2015 between the Swan Valley School Division and the Town of Swan River for the use of temporary rugby field, and whereas the Swan Titan Cricket Club wishes to develop and use portions of the field for cricket-related activities, and whereas the Swan Valley School Division supports this development and use of the field, be it resolved that the Mayor and the CEO are authorized to sign the amended agreement with the Swan Valley School Division allowing the Swan Titans Cricket Club to develop portions of the field for shared use by both the Swan Valley School Division and the Swan Titans Cricket Club. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion. Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I'm just curious when the development is scheduled for.
You mean like of the cricket field itself?
Mhm.
Yeah, so go ahead, because there's not really any development, right?
I'm asking
they
for the
do
date.
have, yeah, they do have some spots within the field, that they want to, level out a little bit, but they have already replied on it. And they do also want to put, some base under the synthetic mat that they've purchased. So they'll have a little bit of, digging up and bring the base down, so it'll be a minimal
It'll be done
change.
this summer type
Yeah,
thing.
oh yeah, no, they won't take long, they're ready to go. Very much ready to go.
Yeah, they're really very.
No, like, I get daily messages,
Yeah.
they're ready to go.
Yeah. Any other discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.8. Whereas the Swan Titans Cricket Club wishes to develop and use portions of the temporary rugby field for cricket-related activities, and whereas the Swan Valley School Division supports this development and use of the field, be it resolved that the Mayor and the CEO are authorized to sign the agreement with the Swan Titans Cricket Club to develop portions of the field for shared use by both the Swan Valley School Division and the Swan Titans Cricket Club. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Moving to 10.1. Be it resolved that the business taxes owing for roll number 0115800.300 in the amount of $277.44 be canceled as the business corporation has now been dissolved. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion, Councillor Whyte.
So is there no opportunity to access those funds that have been owing to the town simply because the business dissolved? Can't put a lien against them or things like
Nothing
that?
to leave. Go ahead.
For $277.44, the amount of cost to go after that legally and legal fees is not cost effective. The business has no money, so this is just an attempt to have council say, let's write this off, because it's, I wouldn't say it's impossible, and once a company dissolves, it's extremely hard to get money.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 10.2. Be it resolved that payroll accounts checks number P5634 to P5636 and the direct deposit payments totaling $123,876.18 as listed on Schedule A be received. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.3. Be it resolved that the following accounts be approved for payment. General accounts checks number 33887 to number 33919 totaling $97,711.73 as listed on Schedule A. Direct deposit payments totaling $1,410.74 as listed on Schedule B. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? Councillor Bobick.
Check number 33829 is EM Fluids Incorporated. I'm just wondering, that's an annual lease. Has that lease gone up in price?
CFO Gnida.
No, it's the same price.
33914.
33914.
Yeah. So it's HLC Consulting Limited. It's a best pre-demolition survey for 2 houses. So I'm trying to understand, does the town pay for these 2 houses? Do we own the houses, or whose houses are they?
Okay, CEO.
So, under the bylaw, the unsightly bylaw, Councillor Bobick, an order is provided to the homeowner, and they have a certain time to do what's required. When they don't, then the town takes over, and the bylaw allows the cost to be added to taxes. Council's already approved that through the bylaw. So yes, the town had to pay that amount, but it got added to the property taxes. So now becomes a debt of the property owner.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 11.1. Be it resolved the bylaw number 1/2026 being a bylaw of the town of Swan River to establish a rate for police protection as a special service for the town of Swan River for the years 2026 and 27, both inclusive, be read a second time. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor McKenzie. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 11.2. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2/2026 being a bylaw of the town of Swan River to establish a rate for the following special services: fire protection, street lighting, street cleaning, sidewalks, boulevards, ditches and drainage, recruitment, retention of medical professionals, snow removal, dust control, road maintenance and reconstruction, and emergency measures for the town of Swan River for the years 2026 and 27, both inclusive, be read a second time. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 11.3. Be it resolved that bylaw number 4/2026 being a bylaw of the town of Swan River to amend its bylaw number 14/2024, which provided for the expenditure and borrowing of money for the installation of curb, gutter, and asphalt pavement at the 300 block of 13th Avenue South and the 1300 block of 3rd Street South as local improvement, but read a third time and passed. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion. Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
Can I please ask the AO to give me the polls notes of this one more time?
Sure.
I know I've asked, I think, twice.
That's okay. So what happens is, to borrow money for curb and gutters, there has to be an opportunity for the ratepayer to either pay out in full, or they borrow it from the town in this case. And what happens after that process, then we have to do a new bylaw to amend it once we know the exact interest rates and the exact amount to borrow. This one was read first time, approved by the municipal board, now it comes back to us for second and third time. And your worship, just a reminder, it's a recorded vote.
Yes.
So.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, this is a third reading, so it will be a recorded vote. All in favor? It's carried. It's unanimous. Okay, we have nothing in notice of motion. Members' privilege. We'll start with Councillor Bobick.
Thank you, Worship. Just to make note that I've noticed a greater police presence in the town as whenever it seems to be placed. Everywhere you go, you meet police vehicles. I do have my seatbelt on all the time. Let that be known. Just comment on the Worship and Deputy Mayor Moriaux going to the FCM. I didn't know what to think when I went to Ottawa, but I think now that by going there, it's very important that the town manager shows up at these things. The meeting and the hands-on you with people is very, very important. It's something to be. It might be little things, but it's big things in the long run. That's my comment.
That's it. Thank you. Councillor McKenzie.
I'm gonna be away again till the 16th. I've got a granddaughter graduating high school in White.
Nice.
And just off, talking about Ottawa, I just got back from 4 days in Ottawa on a credit union national directors convention. So, and had an opportunity, Dan Maisie was one of his assistants, got me a tour of the House of Commons, and that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was neat. When last year when Councillor Alvin and I were in Ottawa, Mr. Mazer asked us to come up to his office and then took us over to the House of Commons, and we got to sit in the speaker's chair. We got to sit in several other chairs, and his chair in the chamber. So yeah, it was a pretty neat little tour. If you ever get a chance to go to Ottawa, definitely you have to check that out. That's for anybody.
He was in the riding when I was there, so.
Yeah. Okay. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Nothing more from me.
Okay. Councillor Duane.
Just want to compliment the grad organization committee for organizing the barbecue recently, and congratulations to the grads, obviously, the parents, obviously, and the teachers and support staff who made those young people ready to graduate, and I wish them all well in their future endeavors. I went to the David Beresford funeral recently, and the community lost a valuable man there, and regardless of the fact that he was an RCP officer and respected, he was a community man. And he gave so much to so many parts. And the museum had their dinner recently. Where would we be without that entity to the community, sharing and storing and saving all those artifacts from the past? On a small note, I think you guys your eyes might rise at our Swan Valley Sport Fish dinner a couple of weeks ago. We netted profit $98,000. That's phenomenal. That money's all going back to the valley.
Good for you guys.
Wow.
And the whole team that
Yep.
did all that work. That's really good. Very impressive.
So are we.
And it's great for our, for fish, right? And the future of fish in our valley and the sport fish. Yeah, good. Director Gordon-Broome.
I don't have lots, it's just our recreation manager, Lana Graham, is actually currently in hospital, and found out today she's going to be needing surgery, so our thoughts are with her on a speedy recovery. She's anxious to get back to work.
Well, you make sure you wish her all the best from us, and take care and speedy recovery.
Well, then.
Just for the record, she's not resigning.
She's what?
Not resigning.
No, she's not.
Director Harvey.
Just from Councillor Whyte's earlier comments, one of those thanks I'll give to pass on to Jordan Rooks, our town foreman. He does an excellent job keeping the guys organized and keeping on top of the small tasks in between the bigger projects so he can knock them off as time and scheduling allows.
Okay, thank you. CFO Gnida.
Nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. CO Tewnion.
Nothing, your worship, just to clarify that the inside joke was there were rumors around town twice now that Lana quit, so I just wanted everybody to know, she's sick, she didn't quit, so that's why I said that. But I don't have anything else, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't need to run.
Oh, did I miss you? Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor Ainslie.
That's okay, I was just gonna sneak in before you end.
Okay,
I just
thank
had
you.
one question actually, and that was, we had Gimli have the security issue with their municipality, and then I had asked about it, and I was told that somebody from administration had been in discussion with them to get to the root cause of exactly what they had happened, so that we can use their lessons learned and make sure that we're protected in whatever avenues those are, and I don't want us to discuss what avenues those are at this moment. What I'm asking is, did we circle back with them, and is there something that could perhaps be brought forward to either, yeah, it might be in camera as
Yeah.
well.
Unfortunately, I don't have that at my fingertips. I'm confident if I asked it to be done, it was done, and we just don't know what the outcome was, but I'll certainly put it on the next COW agenda for us to discuss, or next committee of the whole agenda for us to discuss.
Anything else? Okay, sorry again.
No,
I don't know how that happened, but for myself, not too much, just reminders. There's always fundraisers going on, you know, from the grad people that were there last Friday at the co-op, and they served, I believe it was like 10,000 hamburgers. Oh no, sorry, not 10,000, 1,000 hamburgers. 10,000 dollars. Well,
Everybody got one.
I was gonna say something about Duane, but I'll leave that be. And you know, we have Ride for Recent is coming up here in the next little bit, and then the next big one is gonna be the Cal Tire Barbecue as well for the golf course and for minor baseball. So lots of great things. I want to also say that, and I didn't get a chance to say this, but Minor Ball's been doing a lot of great things in our parks and for baseball, the Diamonds and all that, and they're fundraising, they're using their funds to better our parks, and we welcome that and thank them for that, and make sure if you're talking to them that they're fully aware that we appreciate everything that they're doing to better our parks and those spaces for our young people to play and enjoy themselves.
Recipients this year are curling and minor baseball, not golf.
All right, golf was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So curling needs help like everybody
Yeah.
else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, and that's it for me. And we're left with nothing in camera. Be it resolved, this regular meeting of council now be adjourned at 7:58 p.m.
Oh, doodle.
Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. All in favor? It's carried. We're adjourned.
It's an all-time record.